Facebook, and Zoom appear ready so we can begin our service. If you would like to follow along with the service, there is a QR code up there on the screen that you can take a picture of, and it'll take you right to the order of service there. And now let's prepare for our prelude. Wow, you all sound wonderful this morning. Keep it up. Good morning again, and welcome to the beloved community here at River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation, both here in person and also live streamed on Zoom and Facebook Live. Here we celebrate all the different ways we find to gather our beloved community in body and in spirit as we go and grow and flow the River Way. My name is Leanna Bresnahan, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. For all of you here in this room this morning, it's so wonderful to see your faces and hear your voices. And for all of you who have joined us on Zoom and Facebook Live, we're so happy you can be with us here today too. However you've made your way here this morning, we welcome you. So let's take a moment now to enter into this time together to connect again with one another and with the holy by any name and with the light of love within us all. We pause here in the headlong rush of our lives to breathe together while we remain ever mindful that not everyone can breathe easy nor finds it easy to breathe. So let us breathe together now. At River of Grass, we are committed to our mission to nurture our spirits, to love intentionally, and to create a just and healthy planet. What we share at River of Grass is not an unchanging dogma, but rather a deep and abiding commitment to our free and responsible search for truth, meaning, and faith, and our affirmation that we are called to be agents of love and justice, and to build a world where everyone is cherished for exactly who they are.
Let it be a dance. This first Sunday of March, we open our exploration of what it means to be a people of awakening. This season of spring, when new life is born, not only for Earth, but for all traditions around the world, celebrating rebirth in spring. Our starting place this morning is the poetry of the Reverend Thomas Mickelson, with his text for the hymn we just sang together, one of my favorites, Wake Now My Senses. We sang along with a lovely recording this morning as our prelude, and take a moment now to take in the words in the spirit of awakening. Wake now my senses, and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow, giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new, join with each pilgrim who quests for the true, honor the beauty and wisdom of time, suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now my conscience with justice, thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share as we work towards a planet transformed by our care. May it be so. As we open our hearts to our choir to bring us this month's theme hymn of awakening, I know this rose will open.
The flaming chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, a beacon of religious liberty shining through generations and now ours to hold high. As we light our chalice together this morning, let us join our voices with these words. Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back. And in the light of love, let us renew our covenant as we say together, love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta congregación y el servicio su ley principal. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad a través del amor y ayudarnos mutuamente.
Before we sing together with a recording of our choir from the before times, you know, sometimes English just doesn't get it. You know, when we say our covenant in Spanish, I feel it in a different way. When we say, esta es nuestra gran promesa, I'm not being dramatic. This is our great promise. When we say it in English, and we say it every Sunday, so you know, sometimes we kind of skip on over it. This is our great promise. No, this is our gran promesa. This I feel in my bones in ways I don't feel it in English. So the next time, let's do this together. Let's do it together again. Let's do it in English with a renewed listening to one another as opposed to reciting. A lot of us were taught to recite very well as children in church now, weren't we? In all traditions, not just Christianity. We were taught to recite. Let us go back to our covenant and listen to those words again in English and then anew and in different and deeper ways in Spanish. This love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta congregación y el servicio su ley principal. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad a través del amor y ayudarnos mutuamente. Thus do we renew our covenant with one another and with this faith we share. We'll sing together now our deepening music, Morning Has Broken.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that was coming. I guess I didn't read the order of service closely enough. Weekly email. I did read the weekly email, but what many of you don't know, that was Easter Sunday, 2019. Gail, who was at the piano, Gail Giese, her mom had just passed away. And she stayed and played the piano and accompanied us anyway before running off to be where she needed to be. So, sorry, that's very emotional for me. Just how beautiful it sounded, and how beautiful our choir was and is. In our community each week, we share pieces of our lives. We take a moment to share our joys, our sorrows, and our gratitudes, here with people who love us for exactly who we are, where we are right now. So here in this room, we share from this book. If you're in Zoom and would like to share a thought, a prayer, a joy, or a concern with us in this moment, write it in the chat, and we will lift those up as well.
We, in the holy quiet of this hour, know that we have brought things with us on our hearts. And maybe we didn't even know it, but we got here and we heard a particular chord, we heard a particular word, we heard music, or we felt something from the community that has brought something to the surface of our hearts. And so we have made space for us to bring these into community, into this power of sharing through stones of reflection. So as you are so willing, please come forward as you are moved and take a stone of reflection and offer it into the water of healing and hope. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. unfurl its wings, I know this rose will open. Source of all, called by so many names, none of which we can fully know nor understand. We come humbly this morning asking that our hearts be seen even as we become better seers of hearts. We lift these things written and unwritten, spoken and unspoken, into the power of community, into the mystery that we share in this moment. We celebrate with those who celebrate. We weep with those who weep. We reflect with those who are discerning big decisions. We hold one another in companionship, whatever our path may be laying before us at this time. Beyond our walls, we are aware of the suffering in this world. We ask that we be transformers, that we be willing to be agents of change, of love, and of justice in our time, that we may bend the arc of the universe closer to justice for all. People all over the world suffering are on our hearts this morning, and we are also mindful of the young person next Benedict, whose life was taken in Oklahoma just for being who they are. For any suffering for just being who they are, in whatever terms that might be, may we be a people who side with love every time, all the time, any time we are called. Make us a people so bold. We bring all these things in the name of all that is holy. Amen, amen, amin, aho, ashe, namaste. Blessed be. And so it is. Let us seal our prayer with our sung response. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung, through every land, by every tongue. Each Sunday we like to cast our vision towards our past, from whence comes our heritage, those people who paved the way, the shoulders upon which we stand in this day. And then we also cast our vision forward into our hope for those who will carry on the tradition long after us, as we claim our space in this moment to make it possible. This morning, for our heritage, we celebrate Clara Barton. Our 19th century Universalist foremother, Clarissa Harlow Barton, known as Clara, is one of the most honored women in American history. Barton risked her life to bring supplies and support to soldiers in the field during the Civil War. She founded the American Red Cross in 1881 at the age of 59. At the age of 59? And led it for the next 23 years. Her understanding of the ways she could provide help to people in distress guided her throughout her life. By the force of her personal example, she opened paths to the new fields of volunteer service. Her intense devotion to serving others resulted in enough achievements to fill several ordinary lifetimes. This is our heritage. And in this heritage, we are mindful this morning of the people of Gaza, racing for sustenance dropped from the air in a time of war. This morning, we cast our hope towards Scott Warren. In the fall of 2019, our Unitarian Universalist brother Scott Warren stood in a prayer vigil surrounded by UU faith and social justice leaders and members of the UU Church of Tucson, where he is a member, awaiting a court's decision whether he would be convicted for the crime of providing food, water, and help to people lost in the Sonoran Desert while attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona. After 2 years and 2 trials, the jury acquitted him, and the judge declared that Scott's humanitarian aid for migrants was in truth an expression of his religious belief. In his statement outside the courthouse after the ruling, Scott said, "To migrants like Jose and Christian, who are truly the ones at the center of this story, our hearts are with you for the dignity, respect, and self-determination that is your right. This is our hope." And I'm very, very pleased to tell you this morning that our UUA is putting its resources where its mouth is. Our resources where our mouth is, for we are all part of the UUA. Some years ago, our UUA is Unitarian Universalist Association, alphabet soup. Unitarian Universalist Association has always been headquartered in Boston, and we had an historic building right next to the Capitol on Beacon Hill. That's where it had been from day one. It's a very prominent neighborhood in Boston. And then, realizing that that building was just not accessible to all but a few, the UUA decided to sell that historic building and move around the corner to a street called Farnsworth and establish new offices there. So the UUA purchased 24th Farnsworth and moved around the corner and moved in, and it wasn't long before COVID hit. And they weren't using those offices. And as we have come back from the COVID isolation, many, many departments are run remotely and only come to Boston for quarterly meetings or as needed. And so, what our Unitarian Universalist headquarters on 24 Farnsworth in Roxbury Hill in Boston, what they have done is they had converted a large portion of those unused offices into overflow shelter for migrants coming in at Boston Harbor. And so our brother Scott Warren said to migrants coming over across the Mexican border, "We are with you." And our UUA is saying to those who are coming in up north, "We will hold you." This is our hope.
As you all know, we sustain and strengthen our beloved community and its work in our world through the gifts of our time, our skills, our love, and our money. Each Sunday, half of our undesignated offerings go to LifeNet for Families, which provides meals, clothing, and support for those in need right here in Broward County. And the other half supports the mission of this beloved community at River of Grass. Ushers, if you would please come forward to receive the offering. You may also scan the QR code or text the number on the screen to donate. You can also find various ways to donate on our webpage. Please give generously.
it's your birthday. We're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yes, we're going to a party, party. Yes, we're going to a party, party. Yes, we're going to a party, party. I would like you to dance. Take a chance. I would like you to dance. I would like you to dance. Take a chance. I would like you to dance. They say it's your birthday. Well, it's my birthday too, yeah. They say it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Katie, I love you so much. You are something. You really are something. It's just you and me. It's just you and me, okay? Anybody else want to defy gravity and sit on the floor? Nah, all right. Well, this is a very short story about a very long lesson. It comes from the great teacher Shunryu Suzuki, also known as Suzuki Roshi, a great spiritual teacher who lived from 1904 to 1971, who was a Zen monk and teacher who helped to popularize Zen Buddhism in the United States, and is renowned for the founding of the first Zen Buddhist monastery outside Asia, along with the San Francisco Zen Center, which is one of the most influential Zen organizations in the United States. A book of his teachings, which many of us in this room have read and reread and should read again, is entitled Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. It's one of the most popular books on Zen and Buddhism in the world. Now, Suzuki Roshi gave talks all over the world to help people understand the teachings of Zen Buddhism, and always had a question and answer time after his talks. One day after a talk, a student raised their hand and asked, "But I just don't understand. I've been to many of your talks. Could you please just put it in a nutshell? Can you reduce Buddhism to one phrase, please?" Everyone laughed. This is your part. And Suzuki laughed. And after a moment, the great teacher said, "Everything changes. Next question." One of the foremost teachings in Buddhism is that everything in life is impermanent. Impermanent means not lasting, temporary, will only be here for a little bit. Suzuki Roshi is referring to this impermanence by saying everything changes. This is a very, very deep teaching, but here's a way that it can be understood immediately and helpful in a few words, because it encompasses everything. You can contemplate for hours and hours and hours on end and not realize the full magnitude of the principle of impermanence. You are impermanent. Your loved ones are impermanent. Your home is impermanent. Even our planet is impermanent. And why is it important to realize this? because it teaches us two very important things. First, it teaches us that grasping onto what we see, things or people or possessions, or even trying to grasp onto time and memories, is where we find the cause of our suffering, because we cannot cling on to them. So it teaches us that the source of suffering in our lives is this grasping, this trying to hang on to everything around us without realizing the nature of the present moment. And secondly, now wait, what is this grasping like? Some people use sand. I like to use the image of water. Now, we can get containers to hold on to water, but even the container is something we have to grasp. Even the container is something impermanent. And when we try to hold water in our hands, what happens? We can even maybe hold a little bit of it, but we can't hold on to it forever. We cannot hold on to it forever. And so trying to grasp onto water, we increase our suffering as it passes through our fingers. And second, this principle of impermanence teaches us that because everything changes, that because everything is impermanent, all we know we have for sure is this moment right here and right now. This is all we have. The past is gone. The future has not come yet. The present is all we have and all we can be sure of right here and right now in this moment. And so while we learn not to grasp onto things and people and time as it passes, we also learn to live in this moment that we're given. It's not that our memories are not important. They are. It's not that our dreams of the future are not important. They are. But we don't have either one of those here. We have this moment right now where we can pay attention to love and to joy and to beauty and to one another and to make it real for ourselves as well as other people. Now, Suzuki Roshi asks us to stay in the moment to reflect on this simple teaching that is not so simple to learn. But if we can learn to live this way, we can create peace for ourselves and help to make peace in this world. And so this may be a very short story, but it is about a very long lesson that we will be learning our whole lives. That if we mean to break the chains of suffering for ourselves and our world, if we hope to set ourselves and one another free, first we must not grasp onto things, but let go of everything and be in this moment, in this moment, in this moment together. In the recovery world, I once heard a person learning to live sober ask their sponsor, this is so hard. How do I hang on? And the sponsor said, let go. May whatever you're grasping for, may you let go and set yourself free. Today and every day. Thank you, King. Let's sing our Young and Off to Class. We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. We love you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Oh, this is fun. Okay, so I will warn you. Never preach about staying in the present moment. Unless you mean for the universe to give you a lesson immediately. Today is the day we come together in the month of March as spring emerges all around us to celebrate our own renewal, our own recommitment, our own rites of spring, if you will, in establishing ourselves for the coming congregational year. We are called upon this year to open doors to tomorrow. To open our doors to tomorrow, where we stand on the threshold of our next era, and indeed the next era of the world. Opening doors is tricky because it's a process, and we don't even think about it much because we do it automatically now, but it is a process very much like the story we just shared, the wisdom story we just shared from Suzuki Roshi. It is a process of grasping and then letting go. To open a door, we have to reach out and grasp on to that door. We have to pull it open or push it, either way. We have to assess what's on the other side. And then we have to discern whether or not we will step through. Now, this process requires a lot of different elements of ourselves. Whether we're doing it physically to step through a door here in the world, or whether we're doing it with heart and mind to step through a door into our future, into tomorrow, into new possibilities. So this process, we reach out, we grab the handle, we move towards the open door, we assess what we see, we decide what it is, we discern whether or not we're going to walk through, and then in order to walk through, we have to let go. We have to let go of what's here to get to what's there. And so when we cast the vision for this year's stewardship campaign, this year's pledge drive, opening doors to tomorrow is a beautiful, beautiful theme, and not so simple. Because we have to reach toward what we believe we can do, what we believe we want. We have to assess, discern, decide that we're going to do it, and then we have to let go. That's where we are this morning. So pledging, for those of you who are new to Unitarian Universalism, pledging is how Unitarian Universalist congregations work. We observe a thing called congregational polity. Congregational polity means that we are self-determined. Every congregation is self-determined and self-funded. Every congregation decides what they are, who they are, what kind of programs they're going to have, what kind of leadership they're going to have, what kind of professionals they will employ, what kind of administrators, what kind of groups, what kind of affinities, what kind of work that they will do in the world. And then each congregation funds it. That office on Farnsworth in Boston does not send anybody money. We send them money for the work that we do together. So, because we are self-funded, we come to our community at this time of year and say, what do you see for next year? What do you want? Here's how we're going to get it. We are the ones who put our treasure in the bank to do what we have decided to do. To bend the arc of the universe a little closer towards justice, to reach out into our community to make a difference. And you know what? We're about to have an impermanent, permanent place where we can do so much work we have not been able to do for 4 years. We cannot wait not to only open our doors to tomorrow, but to open our doors to those around us who might be coming to us seeking. To open a door is a risk. Because once you open the door and you see what's on the other side, then you have to risk a decision and decide what you're willing to do to make it real. But luckily, Unitarian Universalist history is based on risk. When Universalism and Unitarianism were new and were bucking the Catholic Church and bucking the Lutheran Church and bucking Calvinism, our ancestors didn't just meet with some disapproval from their families and maybe their communities. They got burned at the stake. We're not at risk for that. But the willingness to risk for our faith is in our DNA as Unitarian Universalists. And risk is in the DNA of this congregation. We just celebrated 25 years of being here against the odds. Risk is in our DNA. And you know why? Because we know that this is a saving faith. This is a saving faith. Now, what do I mean, saving faith? Am I talking about another place and another time? Nope. Am I talking about some eternal reward that's somewhere else? Nope. I'm talking about being able to transform the world where we are. And if you don't think this is a saving faith, how many times have we heard someone say, "Oh boy, I got here right on time. I had needed you." How many times have we heard someone say, and quite often it's someone who left the tradition of their upbringing, but then realized something, they needed community, they needed something. They needed to be joined with other people of like mind and like heart, and they say, "Oh gosh, I found y'all just in time." What do you mean there's a faith where I can be who I am? What do you mean there's a faith where everybody's saved? Boy, was that one a big one for me. What do you mean nobody's going to hell? Oh, we're not. Oh, hell is here or heaven is here. It's up to us. Boy, I found this I've always thought that. I didn't think that was possible. This faith saved me. And our time together continues to save us all. I just love it when someone comes in for the very first time and I get to talk to them after service over coffee. And they say, "I did not know you existed here. Oh my gosh, River of Grass. What does it take to belong here?" Say you wanna. Invest yourself, invest your time, invest your talent, invest your treasure in making this place go and be what it is. That's the why of our annual pledge drive. That's the why. Leanna's going to tell you the how.
Do we have a slide? There it is. It's really so easy. We've made it so easy. Oh, sorry. We think. So everybody will have a pledge packet, which basically is a letter and a pledge card, a physical pledge card. We'd ask for you to approach Rita, and who else is helping, did you say? Audrey, okay. To pick up the pledge packet with your name on it. What we ask you to do, there is a pledge card in the packet, but what we ask you to do, if you're comfortable with doing that, is to pledge actually online. On our webpage, you see a QR code there with a cute little dinosaur in the middle. I don't know how to get rid of that. It means I created the QR code on Google Chrome, is what I read online. So you can actually aim your camera right at that QR code, and that will take you right to the pledge card online. Pledging online is the best because it comes to us automatically. It automatically gets tabulated. But if you are more comfortable with filling out that piece of paper, you will be receiving that today as well. You can sign it, put your numbers down, and turn it into Rita or myself. And we promise that that will also be tabulated and counted toward our total. We ask that everybody, we're going for 100% participation, and by that we mean we know that financial circumstances differ greatly. But we ask everybody to give what you can until it feels like it represents what River of Grass means to you, but not until it hurts. Okay? We ask you to pledge responsibly, meaning based on what you all tell us that you are able and willing to provide River of Grass's resources, we build a budget. And so we depend on those promises being kept. So that's what we mean by responsible, but generously as well. So it's really, as Rev Amy said, it's really up to all of us. There is nobody else sending us money from anywhere. It is up to River of Grass, its members, and its friends. We accept money from any friend who is not yet a member but would like to support us financially. Did I cover everything? Our pledge drive runs from March 3rd, which is today, till the 31st. We encourage everybody to get them in, your pledges in, as soon as possible. And this covers our new congregational year, which begins on July 1st. So keep those pledge payments coming for the pledges that you made last year. And what you pledge today or in the very near future will apply starting July 1st. So write it down, because it's happened to me many times. I pledge and then I forget. And I have to call our office and say, how much was that again? So I do encourage you to write it down so that you will remember. Do you want me to talk about leadership pledges, or are you going to do that? All right. Did I cover everything? Thank you very much.
So I told you my why. Let's have a why from a person who is a member and a leader right here in our midst and serving on the board this year as our treasurer. Aisa, would you tell us why you give?
Good morning, beloved River of Grass community. As your treasurer, it is both an honor and a privilege to address you today in support of this year's annual pledge drive and to share a quick look into what this congregation means to me and why I wholeheartedly support it. Reflecting on my journey here with the River of Grass, I am filled with gratitude for the joy it has brought into my life. The warmth of this community, just look at smiling faces around here. Everybody's always cheerful. The shared values, think about how each year Marilisa engages us all on the Christmas Angel Tree Project. And the inclusivity have created a space where I feel truly myself. As we embrace the theme, Opening the Door to Tomorrow, for this year's annual pledge drive, it is incredibly fitting, especially considering our move to our new home. What I love most about the River of Grass is the opportunity it provides for service. It's not just a community that gathers, it's a community that actively engages in making a positive impact, whether it's participating in social justice initiatives, supporting local charities such as LifeNet for Families with our donations of time and money, or simply offering a helping hand to a neighbor. The River of Grass empowers us to be agents of change. Through service, we embody the principles that unite us and contribute to the betterment of the world around us. In my role as treasurer, I have had the privilege of witnessing the incredible power of your generosity. And this year's annual pledge drive takes on special significance. It is our financial contributions that will enable us to transition smoothly into our new home, ensuring that the spirit of the River of Grass continues to thrive in a space that aligns with our shared vision. I openly share that my commitment to supporting the River of Grass financially stems from a deep belief in the abundance that surrounds us. It's not about the amount, it's about the intention and the shared responsibility we all have in fostering the well-being of this sacred community, especially as we embark on this exciting new chapter. I understand that everyone's financial circumstances are unique and your ability to contribute may vary. What matters most is the spirit in which you give. It is not about the amount, but rather the intention behind your contribution. I want to express my deepest gratitude to your continued support, especially during this pivotal moment in our congregation's history. Your financial contributions make a substantial and lasting impact on the life of our congregation, ensuring that the River of Grass continues to be a vibrant and welcoming community for generations to come. Your financial support, regardless of the size, is a powerful affirmation of the value you place on our shared journey as a community, especially as we open the door to tomorrow. Pretty much what you said.
So we got the when, that's now. We got the why, and we got the how. So next comes the question that we ask ourselves every time, how much? Here's the way I like to think about it. Give as much as feels like and represents a sincere commitment to this work we share, though not so much as to be a burden for you and your family. So give so much as to represent a sincere commitment to this work we will do together in the coming congregational year, but not so much that it represents a burden. Now, every year we ask our leadership to go first. We ask our leadership to go ahead and put their pledges in so that we can launch this Sunday from a strong foundation. So leadership is showing the way. Leanna, would you help me with this?
I think Rita needs to.
Yeah, she does. That too. Okay. You know, we've been having gravity tests all morning long. Isn't it reassuring that the gravity is still holding us? All right. So this is like deal or no deal. So, all right. This is our thermometer for this year. Now, the call. This is our goal: 225,000. That's 5,000 more than last year. 225,000, because that's the way the world is, folks. That's the way the world is. So we asked our leaders to please give their pledges in advance of today. And Leanna, you have a bunch of them there somewhere, right?
I do. Right here.
All right.
Would you like for me to drop them one by one?
Yes.
Okay. Here's another.
There are no names on this, y'all. Don't worry about it.
Just amount.
Just numbers. Look at this. Look at this. We're in 5 figures now. There we go. There we go. Okay. Keep going. All right. All right. And with that, will you accept my pledge?
Yes.
All
no,
right.
we will not.
And here's where we are to start from today. Okay, this is the part we got to figure out. Okay. All right. How do we pull this thing? Y'all are the wizards on this. How do you do this? Oh, I see. It goes in a circle.
It does.
Okay, hold on. Here we go. Okay. And every Sunday in March,
We're going to be doing this
we'll be doing this
inch by inch.
inch by inch. Well, that's kind of apropos, actually. It's kind of, okay, where are we going? You loosen it down there. We're doing it right. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we are. There we are. Look at here. Can everybody see? Here is the number. 105,000 already pledged by your leadership. The rest is up to all of us to make this place go and grow and flow into our next era. Okay? You can pick up your pledge cards from Rita or Leanna this morning, and you can fill them out and hand them right back, or you can do it online. That's a real easy way for everything to get done. I mean, I handed in a paper pledge, but I'm doing it online, right? So, but I like to feel that. I like to feel that. Let us rise in body or spirit as we are so moved, as we commit ourselves to building a new way. Beginning with $105,000. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. You can bend that note, you can do it. We are working to be free. We are working to be free of hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these we surely die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. Come on, come on. Way. Amen. We have so many ways to live out our faith in the coming weeks and days. Please take a seat while Leanna tells us how you can grow in your Unitarian Universalist faith and action in the time to come.
And the announcements will be short today. So today, in a faith development for our lovely child, who I adore, we've jumped ahead into celebrating the spring equinox, exploring how the spring equinox heralds a change of seasons and welcomes in spring, and making little seed bombs to help transform barren earth into spring gardens. And our second announcement has to do with the auction. The auction is over, but not really, because there are openings for various parties. And we have sign-up sheets in the back that you can go ahead and fill in those empty spaces and check with Kathy Jens Rockow, our president, if you have any questions. And I just wanted to say one more announcement. We do have cake today to celebrate the kickoff of the APD, also known as Opening Doors, or Door, I always forget. Opening the door to tomorrow. So thank you so much for your attention. Short and sweet.
All right, y'all. We're going to have some coffee, we're going to have some cake, and we're going to sing our way back to it again. Oh, not yet. Oh, there we go.
We are building a new